Welcome to Community Convener, the official podcast of Henry County Chamber of Commerce. My name is Joseph Henning, and I'm the president and CEO for the Chamber. I want to welcome you all back to our third episode. This podcast is all about bringing you the people, programs, and progress driving business growth and community connections right here in Henry County. Kicking things off with this packed episode, we have Richard Schnitker with SBDC. We're spotlighting some of our incredible members and volunteers. We're going to share some can't-miss upcoming events, have a visit with our team at the Visit Henry Mobile Visitor Center. We'll have updates from the Henry Reporter and from Visit Henry. So grab a coffee and let's dive in. Well, this episode's Catalytic Conversation brings us Richard Schnitker with the SBDC at Clayton State University. Welcome, Richard.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about your background. I mean, you've got a doctorate, you've got experience. Tell us a little bit about that experience in that.
If you looked at my bio online, it shows that I served 24 and a half years in the military, retiring as a command sergeant major in the military police corps. And but believe it or not, that was in 2005, so it's hard to believe it's been 20 years now. Yeah. So, I look in the mirror, I can see age is slowly creeping up. However, throughout my career, requirement, to get education or get college education. So I started off with a business degree, a bachelor's in business, actually down here at Faulkner University, while I was stationed here in Alabama. And so that's where I started. I always had a dream to go into business myself. And so this was an opportunity, at least get that 4-year degree behind me, to start on that process because I knew I was going to retire sooner or later. So throughout the rest of my career, I ended up getting involved with a lot of ministries. And so my master's degree was in leadership. And so I got all this military leadership. Yeah, I got a business degree. Now I'm looking at organizational leadership and, and not to throw names out there, but it was actually from Luther Rice right up in Lithonia. And so a lot of Georgia, Alabama schools here. And then once I retired, got into working contract security. That was a natural slide over from the military. And so I got to see both sides of commercial contracting and government contracting and saw the benefits of being an owner in this type of business. And so just continued to pursue doing that work. And then eventually I started my own business. It was a coaching business called The Growth Coach of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Growth Coach is a franchise. And I started working through that process. I learned the ins and outs and had the opportunity to move from Maryland down to Georgia and had this application that went into UGA. And that's how I got here with the Small Business Development Center. And it's a great fit. I love doing what I'm doing. The biggest benefit, I guess, from owning a business, you really have
You've been there, done it.
You have to generate income or you don't feed yourself, right? So now I get to do what I enjoy, helping people grow their businesses and just looking at it from a different point. My goal is to look outside that box, and because so many folks want to go into the same type of business, it's like you got to stop that.
Yeah,
get out of it because they're going to catch up with you. And then having a background strategy wise from the military, it just helps folks to just look at their business plans, look at their business, and from a strategic way.
Yeah,
they have to grow.
Well, and I think too, you have the education, but you have the experiences that many of them are going through at this point. By the way, thank you for your service. But I think also with that military experience, there's a bit more of the structure that some wouldn't see. And so I think that probably benefits a lot of these startups as well, is that structure's there. I know we've seen that with like the mentorship programs and that.
Absolutely. And so it is all about structure. And so many folks have come with $1 million idea, right? And
I've got a relative like that.
Yeah. So several things because they find out about the SBDC, they want some grant money, and so they want to get rich quick. And so by talking with them and helping them back up a little bit, and let's look at your idea and how do we get from point A to point B, and we'll try to come up with a 1-year, 3-year, 5-year strategy with a growth strategy behind it. And so the one thing I didn't cover in that last question is my doctorate degree, even though it's in education, it's focused on transformational change management.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so that's why I picked that particular avenue because that's what we're dealing with. And after the pandemic, there's a lot of transformation and change. Businesses had to stop doing what they're doing. And so by taking this strategic understanding on how to look outside the box and then applying this transformational change, I'm able to help businesses to look at it.
How many? Just this is an aside. I'm throwing this curveball at you. There were a lot of pivots that we all did in 2020 and 2021. Unfortunately, I've seen very few that have stayed on that path to innovation, and many have gone back to the comfort of what we were always doing. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, the status quo seems to be a comfort zone.
Yep.
There's a lot of good that came out of this, the shutdown of the pandemic, but a lot of bad at the same time. A lot of businesses failed because they weren't they didn't plan right. They were living day to day. They were living off the means and were comfortable with that. And so in order to survive that now, you got to have a plan. You got to be strategic about what you're doing because hopefully nothing ever happens again. But if that situation happens, are you prepared to withstand 3 months, 6 months, sort of like your personal finances?
Right.
To be able to have that plan.
Well, and I think, we saw it too in the chamber industry. There were many that closed shop, merged, and those that came out stronger were the ones that had that structure and strategy and that. So tell me, welcome to the SBDC, and what do I get when I talk to you? What is the main target person coming in for you?
We're guided by 4 different metrics, what we call a pre-venture, which is basically your startups. George is big on startups. They're very business oriented for growth. And so startups is one of our number one metrics that we focus on, help businesses get up and running. The next step is what we call a basic business. It's usually 2 or less employees. They're happy. Mom and pops, they opened up their little store and they're operating and they're moving, they're functional, and they're an asset also to the state of Georgia. But then they want us to focus now on established businesses, and those are 10 or more employees. We're making $250,000 or more. And so now they're generating that tax revenue, right? State likes, and then of course professionally manages, everyone wants to work with. Those are companies that are doing very well, 10 or more employees and usually making well in the millions. And so what I've seen over the years that I've been doing this is those professionally managed businesses are where they're at because they did all the hard work, right? They followed this strategy. They got a plan, and they're doing all the right things. We work with them, but we try to just give them different angles, right? Again, look outside the box, right?
And maybe that's more of a quick one hit with them, where it's just kind of a conversation about, well, have you looked at this and look at it from this direction? Whereas, especially the stage 1 and stage 2s are probably a lot longer nurturing.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of work, especially startups. They had that great idea. And it is, it's phenomenal. I see a lot of great business ideas and concepts. But yeah, we do spend a lot of time with that particular group of folks. And because some of them are gun shy and some of them just are scared to pull that trigger, right?
Oh, yeah.
They need to jump into that business. You're ready to do it, right? But they're nervous about it.
Yeah, that over planning, and then by the time you pull that trigger, then it's too late because everybody else is doing it, and there's no need for it anymore or whatever. But yeah, so good. So recommend getting right out of that gate, getting in and talking to you.
That's right,
and they can do that right here.
Correct.
You're hosting regular consulting hours here at the Resource Center, and I thank you for that partnership. What are some of the questions other than the funding and grants that they might have for you that you're able to answer for these small businesses?
A lot of times just want to know the feasibility of their particular business. Is this something that's going to work? Franchising, I came out of the franchise industry. And so having that background, a lot of folks want to get into franchises. But having been there, I give them a lot of cautions. And I don't try to talk them out of it, but I just give them the better understanding that, behind this, you got royalty fees, you got maintenance fees, you got all these different fees that are nonstop. And even though the franchise is making money, time you get done paying that, you're only making $35,000, $40,000, $50,000, right? Depending on the franchise, everything is different. And so just helping them understand and look at it from a different standpoint, and then just trying to have some examples and share with them, how you can get there from point A to point B. But these are some of the things you need to consider because you might not be ready to launch that fast, or sometimes they are.
What if they need data?
Thankfully, to the University of Georgia, who we work for, we have access to numerous databases. So we can give you, demographic information. We can give you business information that's surrounding you anywhere between like 1 mile, 3, 5, 10, 20 miles out radiuses. We can give you traffic counts. What type of traffic? What's the crime? A lot of folks see a great opportunity, right? Someone told them there's this building that's available, right? But when we do demographics, or if you look at the crime, you probably don't want to be there.
You know the reason it's available. Yeah. So, yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's where a lot of them, might fail. The preparation is that they're not looking at that external environment. Right. So that's great. That's wonderful. As you look at the rest of the year, what are some of the things that you're looking at? Because you also do some programs here at the Resource Center. And so what are some of those programs like? What are you looking at? Are there some that we have in the planning that we're ready to launch, or are you still identifying that?
One that I'm working on now is, future planning. So taking what we have learned from the last government shutdown, from the pandemic, is if that was to happen or something similar was to happen, how can you better plan your business, right? So that'll be launching out. I think June's my first class over at the Griffin Chamber, but I'll be moving this way as I see how it works out. I've been selected also by the America's Small Business Development Center to teach this class as well at the conference in Orlando coming up. So I'm excited about that.
Congratulations, yeah.
So I think it's a need, but I'm always looking when I'm learning more and more as I talk to clients and develop that relationship with the chambers is what is the need and to try to develop something to support that need. Because it changes all the time. Working 3 years ago, 5 years ago, that's a done deal now. So what's new? And now I think AI is a huge asset, but at the same time, it can be a negative part of business.
It's going to be pretty amazing to see what that looks like as it evolves. So what else do you do at the SBDC that you want our listeners to know about?
Right, we're really here to help any business at any level of progress, and sometimes they just need, just some additional, I call it a coaching. Even though we're consultants, we're really educators, is what we do, and so we can give them that particular tool they need or help them with a specific thing. And so I work off of keeping it simple. That's that military, right? Don't complicate it. I got folks that are struggling with business plans is because they're trying to get every dot and tittle, right? Just get it down on paper, right? And so we can formulate it because it's a living document.
Well, and I think that's true because I've seen organizations with one-page strategic plans,
right?
And I've seen them with a one-inch binder. And I want to know, how often do you refer to the one page versus how often do you refer to the binder? But, and I think it's the same thing then with a business plan. If you've got a short, brief business plan that you can kind of move as you go each year, you're better off because you're paying attention to it.
Absolutely. I share with my clients as they come in, I look at it as a portfolio, right? Your business plan, if done correctly, is going to show where you were, where you're at, where you're going, right? And every year you should be updating this because you update your financials and you got to look at them on a monthly basis at least to understand if you're making money or not making money and how to make corrections. And so as that develops, then it becomes, twofold. If you want to sell your business, it's a book of business, right? If you want to pass it down as generations, now they got something to go off of. And they got the history of the business, but keep it simple, keep it relevant. And if it's something that you just did and you put on the shelf, then it's useless.
It's pointless.
Yeah, it's white.
You're just stalling your launch because you just wanted to have that binder up.
Right.
Shelf.
But there's there's two businesses I work with that are making their PMs at $3+ million a year. Never had a business plan. I mean, it's important to have, but I will tell you, it's more important to understand business, and that's what the business plan does. It helps you to understand, is this a right fit? Is this something I can do? And then as we educate you and work you through that process, you're learning business.
Well, and you had said, too, it's kind of a roadmap from where you were, where you are, and where you're going. And I think so often we all fall victim to getting into the weeds.
Yeah.
And if you are a sole proprietor or even a small business with 1, 2, 3 people, you're still doing a lot of the front end work.
Absolutely.
And when you're there day to day, you kind of forget about what that vision was. And so I think having that plan also gets you out of that, brings you back out, so you can kind of focus on the next stage.
Absolutely, and that's what the whole strategic part of it becomes like. We focus on your business plan, your financial and marketing, but with it, the whole thing is a strategic plan. So if you don't have something to look at to keep you focused, to keep you on that right azimuth, right, and keep you in the forefront of your business, and you're going to fall victim to day-to-day chaos. And then if you're, we want you to work on the business, not in the business. I mean, pre-ventures are going to be in it, and that's purposely done, so you know every nuance of that business. So when you are able to pass it down, you understand what you're looking for and what they're supposed to be doing. If you don't understand every aspect of it, then probably going to struggle.
And it's kind of learn from my mistakes. Don't make them again.
Exactly.
So I appreciate it, Richard. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. And if somebody's listening to us today, how do they reach you?
Oh, absolutely. Go to the simplest thing to do is just type in SBDC or georgiasbdc.org, and that'll take you right to our main website. And it's phenomenal. Now you can go there and you can find all the locations, the 18 different locations we're at, the different sites, so you can click on to reach whatever consultants in that area. And then you got all our continuing education courses that are going on. You'll see a lot of the success stories of clients that we've worked with and how we have helped them move from point A to point B, and then what their overall results are. And
through the website, there's an opportunity to click on your calendar and make an appointment and that.
Well, absolutely. Well, they'll click on our website, and then they can connect with our program coordinator. That's the first stop. That's like our gatekeeper. So through her, she'll get you set up with us, and that's the easiest way. And then meeting us, come to the chamber.
What days are you at the? You're regularly here. Is it third Thursday?
Yeah. So it's interesting because I'm also working with Stockbridge Economic Development, Main Street over there. So I'm there the second Thursday, and I'm here the third Thursday of each month. So I'm in Henry County all the time, but purposely 2 times a month to open doors, so people come and ask questions and run it by me. Then I'm also at the Spalding Griffin Chamber, and then now my new area director on board, Gavantes, he takes care of Clayton and Fayette County.
Okay, all right. So you get the south part of the
Yeah, get the southern side.
Yeah,
get South Georgia.
Well, I appreciate it. Any last words you want to share with them? We've given them how to contact you and what you do, and I hope to have you back in the future. We can update a few of the different programs in that.
Absolutely. There's a lot of things that we can cover, different aspects of the what SBDC provides. We couldn't do it all in just this one short time frame, but if you're interested in starting a business, reach out. I mean, your dream is your dream, and we're love to come alongside you and help you achieve those dreams, but you got to get up and you got to move.
You got to do the work.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you can dream all day long, but it's not going to do anything for you.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You got to put, your feet to action and move forward and talk to us. And we can give you the tools and assets and help you look at it from a professional standpoint as well as a personal standpoint. Is this something that you truly can do?
Yeah. So, you had said the startups and that, but you also, if they're existing businesses that want to move to the next stage, either scaling up or a new division or something, they can reach out to.
Good point, Joe. So that's the whole purpose. It's like 4 layers, right? So ideally, I get you from pre-venture to basic business established, but my goal is to get you to that professionally managed business, right? Where you got 10 or more employees, you're making good amount of money so you can live that life that you dreamed of living, right? It's a process and it takes work. Some businesses happen, but if you look at, the Chick-fil-A's and the Jeff Bezos, for the Amazon, Elon Musk, right? They had many failures and many issues. They didn't get to be billionaires overnight. It took them many years. And so I don't say that as a negative because some people do achieve their financial status in a very short time, but you got to have that right niche, right job.
Well, you got to have the right focus.
Yeah, the right focus. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, Joe. Thank you.
We'll be right back after this message. This week's elite member highlight is Central Georgia EMC. On April 10th, 1937, a petition for chartering the Central Georgia Electric Membership Corporation was filed, and on July 11th of 1937, the organization officially came into being. Central Georgia EMC, delivering safe and reliable electric service, requires careful planning, coordination, and consistent maintenance. Central Georgia EMC is dedicated to providing reliable energy while reducing our carbon footprint. As part of this commitment, Central Georgia EMC partners with Green Power EMC to offer renewable energy options that help members make a positive environmental impact. Thank you, Central Georgia EMC, for your support of the Henry County Chamber of Commerce and for our Small Business Resource Center. Welcome back. This episode's Voices of the Chamber is Baris Turker, our Partner Relations and Visitors Manager for Visit Henry. Welcome, Baris.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Hey, tell us a little bit about your background.
My background is, I studied engineering.
Oh, I did not know that. Yeah. Okay.
But then I came to U.S. to study to have master's degree, and then I stayed.
And you stayed. Well, I'm glad you did.
Thank you. Thank you. And then I started working in promotions, marketing, and that's how I met Laura at an event. And
you've been part of the family since. All right. All right. Tell me a bit. You said come to America. So where are you from originally?
I'm from Turkey, Istanbul.
Okay. And I believe that you may have played a little bit of soccer or something, a little bit.
A little bit, yes. Yeah. I played during high school, and then I played for a semi-pro team in Turkey.
Well, great. So you have been, you said you met Laura. Is it 3 years now you've been with us?
About almost 2 years.
Almost 2, okay. And you started as an expert explorer.
Correct.
What did that entail? What was it about that intrigued you?
It's just the energy of the environments that we promote. It was always exciting. I think it was a Atlanta Motor Speedway event where I met Laura, and it looked very similar to what I had been doing I think it was about 4 or 5 years before that. I started asking questions, and Laura gave me information about what she does, and it was very similar to what I've been doing.
Yeah.
So I asked if you needed someone.
All right.
That was a great moment because she needed someone for the team also.
Yeah. Everybody's been so happy to see you as when you were part-time, and I know even more so now that you've joined us full-time. So now tell us how that transition from expert explorer to the, I'm just going to say manager role, how's that gone for you, and what's that been like?
It was a an easy and a great transition because I already knew the team that I was going to work with. And then, of course, the rest of the chamber team that I haven't met before, it was just like it's a great team.
Good.
So I already knew about the team, and it was an easy, smooth transition.
Well, good. I like to hear that. I appreciate that. Part of that role as manager is that you're building these relationships across the county. What do you usually share with businesses when you're talking to them about Visit Henry and about the programs that we have and your role with that?
Normally, when I visit, if it's the first time, a lot of the new businesses that we would like to partner with think that we are asking something from them. And in reality, I'm here to support them and give them. So it takes a little bit for them to understand that. But then once they know that it's a program that is created for them, they really appreciate it.
What is something that they don't realize that you have in your toolbox to help them in that role?
In this role, I try to give them examples of what we provide. We have grants available for them. We have billboards available on 75 all the way from Chattanooga to Macon on the southbound. So we have many tools available, and we just want them to commit and explore the opportunity.
Come on in and be partners.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. All right, Baris, one other question. What do partners look like? What does the partnership program look like from the tourism standpoint? Who would be a partner?
A good partner would be focused on more in the tourism side of it. So the restaurants count, of course, the hotels, but the shops also who are more focused on the tourism side of it. So a tourist would come to our county, but what would they
But they do while they're here.
They do well.
Okay. And that's what we're trying to do is give them an itinerary of you can spend all kinds of time here. This is what you could do.
Absolutely.
All right. So Baris, that's some great examples from attractions to restaurants to retail. I mean, it's anybody that wants to welcome a visitor to Henry County. Wonderful. If they're looking to get more information from you, I want to talk to you about the program and that. How would they go about that?
They can go to our chamber website and click the Visit Henry link.
You don't want to share the website name for Visit Henry?
It's visithenrycountygeorgia.com.
All spelled out. It'll fill up that whole browser bar. What are you looking forward to as your role expands with the visitor services and the partnerships? What are you looking forward to grow that opportunity for you and for the organization?
We have been in the process of hiring new experts. So I just finalized that. And then I'm very excited to grow more into my role too. So now we can focus on creating value for our partners.
Wonderful. So we've got the Expert Explorers, the paid professional brand ambassadors, I guess. Yes. But we also have an opportunity as local explorers, correct?
Yes.
Tell us, in case there's somebody listening that wants to get involved and work as a volunteer with the CVB, tell us a little bit about the Local Explorer program.
It's a great way of giving back to the community too. So that's a program that local experts come to our events, work with the team that we have in these events. They usually work from 2 to 4 hours in each shift, and they just help us promote our county.
And they get to promote themselves as well.
Yes.
A lot of these are professional individuals and some retirees in that too. So
Absolutely.
It's open to everybody. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so this episode airs on May 19th. Anything else happening that week?
Around that week, we have the best ways to check our website. So you can check our social media. And yes, there's so much happening.
Anything the next day? That'd be May 20th?
Well, it's my birthday, yes.
Well, let me be the first to wish you a happy birthday then, Baris. Thank you. Anything you want to, that I did not ask that you want to share with the individuals that are listening?
We have a great chamber that supports all the partners, all the county, and our tourism side is welcoming all the volunteers to come help us promote the county, and we've got a whole great team waiting for your support.
Wonderful, wonderful. Couldn't have said it better. Thank you, Baris. I appreciate it. Thank you.
The Henry Reporter is your local source for what's happening in Henry County. The Henry Reporter lets you know what's going on road projects, new developments, rezoning requests, local government, and new business openings. The Henry Reporter last year shared over 290 articles, and we were the first and only media source to let you know about the state's plan to expand I-75. If you want to learn more about what's going on in our community, check out the Henry Reporter at www.henryga.news. And
now for our upcoming events. Today from 11 to 1, please join us for the Mentorship Program Open House in our Business Resource Center. Join us for the chance to hear from our mentors and mentees from our first cohort as they share their experiences and the impact of the program on their businesses. Hear their stories, ask your questions, and find out how mentorship can help you take your business to the next level. On May 20th, join us for Are You Ready to Be Grant Ready? 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. in the Business Resource Center. Discover the 4 pillars of grant readiness and what funders really look for in a winning proposal. You'll leave with actionable insights, templates, and tools to build a fundable foundation for your mission. On May 22nd, we have a business after hours at Benton Village of Stockbridge beginning at 5:30. Don't miss an extraordinary evening of networking, great food, and a celebration of Benton Village at Stockbridge, an award-winning senior living facility. On June 5th, the next program in our From Vision to Victory series is 7 Business Blind Spots with Judy McMurtry. Beginning at 11:30 a.m. in the Business Resource Center, explore the most common areas business leaders overlook in our 3rd class. Join us on June 6th for the Henry County Networking Group event in the Hudgens Room from 9 to 10 a.m. This is a free networking event open to all business professionals, entrepreneurs, and nonprofit organizations. On June 10th, Business 201 Chase Bank Small Business Workshop Series begins from 10 to 11:30 in the Business Resource Center. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, join us for this engaging and informative 4-part series designed to equip you with the insights, tools, and strategies every small business owner needs in order to succeed. June 12th, our Lunch with a Leader features Barbara Rivera Holmes, Commissioner of the Georgia Department of Labor. Join us from 11 to 1 p.m. in the Hudgens Room on June 12th. We're excited on June 18th to host our Innovation Summit, Empowering Through Trust, Leadership, and Inclusion. From 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Merle Manders Conference Center in Stockbridge, you can join more than 280 businesses and entrepreneurial leaders to discover how fostering a strong, inclusive business culture plays a vital role in driving community and business success. Our presenting sponsor for this event is Truist. Finally, July 21st through the 22nd, we have our Henry County Schools Educator Launch. Chamber members are invited to help welcome some 600 new teachers to Henry County Schools by sponsoring or by providing 600 items representing their business for teacher gift bags. We ask that you not include glass, brochures, or flyers in your gifts. If you need more information, please give us a call at 770-957-5786 or visit henrycounty.com. All right. This episode's connecting point is Expert Explorers at our Mobile Visitor Center with Traci Wright. Welcome, Traci.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
You are Visitor Services Coordinator with Visit Henry. Tell us a little bit about your background.
So I was an Expert Explorer under Visit Henry for a little over a year before I started the Visitor Services Coordinator position. So I was out with the Mobile Visitor Center, which is a van that we take to different locations all around Henry County and hopefully other places outside of Henry County in the future to promote all the fun things we have to do here.
What's a memorable activation that you had as an Expert Explorer with the Mobile Visitor Center?
There's so many because the events that we go to are fun and it brings out a lot of, happy characters, and it's so fun to connect with the community and see them having fun. So I would probably say maybe Bridge Fest.
Okay.
That's at the Stockbridge Amphitheater. Mm-hmm. It's really fun. You see the families out
Very
together and dressed up and cute and just enjoying each other. It's fun.
Were you one of the lucky ones that got to do the Atlanta Motor Speedway race? Tell us about that day. I want them to know how much we appreciate what you all do because what you go through.
Yes, again, lots of people out having fun and, adults adulting, enjoying their adult beverages. Yeah. And all that comes with that, all the fun that comes with that. It
is a diverse mix. You get to people watch there.
I love people watching. Mm-hmm. I do. And that was one of the reasons why I was interested in the Expert Explorer position. It sounded interesting, and I'm a person that has a little bit of social anxiety. Mm-hmm. So actually going out and speaking to people and to crowds sometimes is a little unnerving, but it's something that I want to grow out of, and I've come a long way. Good. In my adulthood. Wow. And it's definitely helped. And it's also very rewarding as well to be out and seeing the community having fun and engaging with my neighbors. It's very fun. Yes.
Good, good, good. Let's talk some more about the Mobile Visitor Center.
Yes.
What is part of the appeal to having the center where we take it out and activate?
Well, the van is, I don't know if you guys have seen the van. It's super cute. It's got doodles all over it. And we highlight some of our local partners in Henry County that, businesses we want to highlight that we love and cherish. So it's fun. And there's a touchscreen TV inside. It's got some jams playing, and it's real cute inside with all of our visitors guides.
With the touchscreen, what do they do with that? Is it a game or?
Almost.
Okay.
Things like that. So it's called a visit widget. Okay. So what it is, it has like a list of all of the things to do in Henry County, different restaurants, shops, attractions, things like that. And what you can do is almost like you're shopping. You can scroll through the different places and events that are happening, and you can choose them.
So you could help me plan an itinerary for something that I could. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
You can list out a bunch of different things, and it will send a link to you to your phone or to email, and it'll, like you said, it's like an itinerary. It'll actually map it out for you as well. It'll show you the distances between all those different places. So while, depending on what your timeline is, you can I can.
Now, do they have to go to the van in order to do that, or do we have something on the website as well?
There is.
Okay.
In the bottom left-hand corner, it floats on any page. It's right there. It's yep.
All right. Yeah. So good. Okay, I like that. And then I believe, is there a green screen still in the van?
We do still have the green screen in the van. We're working on getting our technology updated to do the pictures again. We're still working on that. And we have a new green screen as well that sits outside of the van.
Oh, okay.
So for people that are a little taller, because it's a little tight in there, so it works great for kids, but everybody else.
Yeah.
Right. So it's an option.
And I think one of the unique things, not only in that it goes out to where the visitors are, which I think is just amazing and wonderful, but it is also handicap accessible.
That's right. There is a lift so that anyone that needs it, they can ride up and come inside and do the visit widget and see the cuteness inside of there and take the green screen photos. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Very inclusive. Tell us a little bit about what those expert explorers are doing.
We're just getting them trained up and ready to go out and explore the world on their own. And so what they're doing is reaching out to the community. They're pushing out our new visitors guides and letting everybody know it's our first year doing it in English and in Spanish.
Yeah. And then they work with, I believe, their local explorers are volunteers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What would, if somebody was interested in volunteering, what would they do?
Well, they could get in touch with me and get in touch with Baris, and we could send them all the information. There's like a form, an application that you would fill out, and we could give you all the information on how to sign up to be another local explorer volunteer.
Anything, any other things that you want to share with your role and what you're doing here with Henry County?
Well, I'm just a few months in, about 6 months in, I believe, into the position. So I'm still learning and growing as well. Some of these events I've actually done before as an expert explorer, but not in the capacity that I have now. So it's different.
You thought you had the responsibility then.
Right. Exactly. So it's more involved, but I still very much enjoy it, and it's exciting to see us growing and spreading out in the community more. That's what we wanted, was to get the van out more and get those interactions.
Well, wonderful. Traci, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time on this the podcast episode today, and I'm absolutely right there with you that we got a great team in tourism. We got a great team in the chamber here, and everybody seems to be pulling together, and it's great to see.
Awesome.
So thank you for what you do.
Thank you too. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Hello, this is the Henry Reporter, sharing local news about Henry County since 2017. Let's take a look at the latest local headlines. The Henry County School Board has approved their budget for the upcoming 2026 year. The school district is anticipating expenses of $596 million during the 2025-2026 school year. This is an increase of $23 million over their current FY 2025 amended budget. The new budget includes pay raises for teachers and district staff. It also includes the addition of 41 new teachers for the school system. Henry County Schools serves about 43,000 students. The school district is also replacing furniture at various schools in the county. They recently awarded the purchase of furniture for Excel Academy and J.B. Henderson School. These 2 schools will join 6 others slated to receive furniture replacement this year. Henry County Schools began a program a few years ago to replace furniture within the school system. They started with the district's oldest schools and have been gradually working their way through the district. In summers 2023 and 2024, they replaced the furniture at 7 schools. Following this year, that will bring the running total to 15 of the district's schools having had their furniture replaced. The City of Hampton is making headway on capital projects. The Hampton Council has awarded a construction contract for a new roundabout at McDonough Street and Hampton Locust Grove Road. The new roundabout will cost the city about $1.5 million, paid for by Transportation SPLOS. The intersection is located near Fortson Library and Bear Creek Senior Center. The Hampton Council also awarded a contract for Phase 3 of the East Hampton Community Park. The park, located on East King Road, has been built by the city within the last couple years. Phase 3 will include additional walking paths, a larger open lawn area, and lastly a memorial for those killed in the July 2023 shooting within the city of Hampton. The contractor will complete the work during the month of June so that the Hampton City Council and community can hold a memorial dedication for the park in July on the anniversary of the shooting. And lastly, it is graduation season for the class of 2025 high school seniors. Henry County Schools is hosting graduation ceremonies at Atlanta Motor Speedway between May 16 to the May 22nd. Let me be among the first to say congratulations to this year's seniors. Best of luck in whatever your future endeavors take you. This has been the Henry Reporter. Be sure and visit our website, www.henryga.news, for all of the latest local news and events.
And now we bring you our Member Minute. Henry County Schools Division of Learning and Performance, the Office of Language Arts, would like to extend the invitation to community members to join them in creating a dynamic new Georgia K-12 ELA standards. Taking place at Dutchtown High School Tuesday, June 10th through Thursday, June 12th, this year's theme is Henry Reads, Elevating Readers, Accelerating Results. This conference-style summit is designed to provide literacy leaders with opportunities to learn strategies for strengthening instructional coaching practices. Last week, the Henry County Water Authority renamed the Tussahaw Reservoir to honor former General Manager Lindy D. Farmer. Farmer was the first general manager of the Henry County Water Authority and served in this leadership role for 40 years, making him the longest tenured water utility chief executive in the state of Georgia at the time of his retirement in 2022. Henry County's Board of Commissioners recognized the month of May as National Small Business Month at the May 6th regular commission meeting. The proclamation explained that small businesses represent more than 99% of all U.S. businesses and provide jobs to millions of hardworking Americans, stating that this is a time to recognize the critical contribution of entrepreneurs and small business owners whose innovation, perseverance, and commitment help drive progress and prosperity throughout the country. This month and every day, join us in supporting small businesses and celebrating their collective contributions to our community. Thank you to our local entrepreneurs and small businesses for their efforts. The Chamber is welcoming multiple members in the next few weeks through a series of ribbon cuttings. JB Method on May 28th, Little Dreamers Pediatric Dentistry on June 4th, and Summit Spine and Joint Centers on June 5th. For more information on our ribbon cuttings, visit our Chamber calendar on our website.
Are you looking to reach a new audience that is known and lives here in the Henry County community? Reach out to the Henry Reporter about local ad opportunities. We have an established following after over 8 years in business, and we would love to let you know more about ways to advertise your business and let potential customers here in Henry County know what you have to offer.
If you are interested in discussing membership benefits or sponsorship opportunities, please connect with our team at 770-957-5786 or at henrycounty.com. And be sure to join us next week for more member and community news and to meet our new interns from the Partnership for Inclusive Innovation. Until next time, stay connected, stay inspired, and keep growing with us at the Henry County Chamber.